I can't believe I'm already announcing the 4th year of realmathon. This is probably my favorite theme yet, which I know I say every single year, but it's because I actually mean it. Every single year I think I just outdo myself and I don't think I'm gonna ever be able to get better than it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, realmathon, or Realm of the Readathon, is a competitive team-based readathon that is running all March long. Essentially, realmathon has 4 teams that go head to head, and you want to be the team that has the most points at the end of the readathon. You earn these points by reading books, and you can either add points to your team or you can take away points from another team, which is my personal favorite thing to do. I am competitive and I just love sabotaging other people. If you are not watching the premiere, hi everyone in the premiere, there are timestamps down below so you can skip to anything that you need to in order to best understand this announcement. I'm just going how my brain works. We're going to start with the theme and then we're going to go into the realms. Then we're going to get into actually how it works. And then we are going to do a merch reveal and a frequently asked questions. So welcome to Carrion City. I hope your trip over was easy and the waves were not too bad. The city you see before you today would have looked a lot different 50 years ago. Over the last 50 years, 4 families have taken an interest in the city's success, and they've made themselves pillars in the community. Each family holds themselves to great esteem, but behind closed doors, there is a war brewing. Each family is trying to expand their reach and their territory, and an all-out magical war is about to start in the streets of Carrion City. Pledge yourself to a family, gain access to their magic, and hope you're the last one standing. And just like every single year, Carrion City has a map. In my head, Carrion City is a little bit more skyscrapery than this map, but this was the best I could do. So here is my city setting. If you're a patron of mine and you got to compete in the November Realmathon, where it's like a sorting hat to pick your realm, you're gonna notice that there are buildings that we saw in that readathon all over this map. You don't really see sections of the teams on this map, but each realm does have their own hideaway or like main thing on here. Before we get into the realms themselves, I do need to just like quickly explain bonus prompts. We will get into the actual prompts later on, but I think in order to best help you understand, you have bonus prompts for each team, and they're a little bit different this year than normally. I picked one bonus prompt for every single team, and my bonus prompt is plus or minus 10 an urban setting. So every time you read a book with an urban setting, a city setting, you receive extra 10 points. And every team also has 2 other bonus points. These are completely different this year, as I let the host choose their own prompts. I thought it'd be really fun that every host got to choose a prompt. So each team has different prompts, which will maybe help convince you to join one team over the other, because you might like someone's prompt a little bit more than others. I think they're all really freaking good. So I will announce those as we go through all of the realms, and then they'll also be in the Google document. If you are ever confused about anything I'm saying, there is a Google document that you can read through, has all of this information in it. I literally have it in front of me. And there's also a frequently asked questions within the Discord that you can ask questions, and mods and hosts will come answer those for you. I'm excited about the 4 families this year. Before that, can you guess hosts? Can you guess any hosts? I think that's always fun. We have some returning hosts and some new hosts this year. I typically try to do half and half returning, half new. The first family is the Stingers. This family has control over the docks. Nothing comes in or out of Carrion City without going through this family. As you saw on the map, there are mountains or just water. So the only way to Carrion City is through the water. They have what we like to call the Siren Call. Each member of the Stingers receives a vocal magical gift. They may be able to make you do whatever they say, speak messages from far away as if they're right next to you, or things like exploding items at the command of their voice. Stingers are often charismatic, funny, charming, and a little bit nosy, but they make good companions and are very, very, very loyal. This year, your family rulers, your team leads, are Mel from Melanor Reads and Katie from I Would Rather Be Reading. I'm very excited to have both of these on. We have a returning host and a new host on this team. And your team prompts, because this is where I feel like it gets extra special this year, is an author you read from before, and or a book with your next book boyfriend, girlfriend, love interest in it. So a book where you could see yourself dating a character in it. Really good for us romantasy girlies and our book boyfriends. Just saying. Our next family is the Ravens, and they control the underground. On the outside, they have a few very profitable, legitimate businesses. They own most of the downtown strip, the restaurants, the nightclubs, the casino, but their real business is the things sold under the table on the black market. The Ravens creep in the shadows. Their magic is always a gift of the sight. They may be able to make illusions, change the way they look, and even go invisible. The magic is different for everyone, but always something about vision changing. Ravens are good secret keepers and typically like to work alone, but can have a select few that they trust. They're good at flying under the radar and watching before acting typically. They're also quick thinkers and very adaptable. Your team leads for this one are Books with Lexi and Leandra the TBR0. Again, we have a returning host and a new host. I'm very excited for this team. And your team prompts, if you choose the Ravens, is a book you found on a list. This can be any sort of list. Goodreads makes lists. I know booktubers kind of make some lists. And or, because you can stack these, a book with a character that's hiding a secret. This is up to some interpretation, but a character has to be hiding a secret. Next up, we have the Monarchs, and they control the government. They have spent years building themselves up into leadership roles. Their magic is always a gift of the mind. They may be able to read your mind, plant thoughts into your mind, move objects with their mind, enter your dreams, anything your mind can control. In a test of wills, I personally would not want to go up against a monarch. They are playing chess while we are playing checkers. They think everything through, blend in well, get people to trust them very easily. They're often more outgoing, feel more approachable, can be very stubborn, but are very, very, very smart. And your team leads for this one are Bree from Four Paws in a Book and Jen from Book Refuge. Two new hosts for me, and I'm very, very, very excited to see what they bring. I think it's going to be a great team. The Monarchs was the first team I had thought of. They were pretty much what started this whole thing. And your team prompts are a book with politics. I think this is perfect to the vibe of this realm. And or a book set in a made-up place. So a fictional place. This could be a fictional city, a fictional country, a fictional realm. Something made up. Last but certainly not least, we have the Stags. And the Stags control agriculture. Their magic is always a gift of the touch. They can heal or harm things with their touch, which is why they can make plants grow in the soil of Carrion City that is not easy to do. No one else can grow anything here. They can change your emotions just by touching you, send calm thoughts, angry thoughts, whatever they want. The Stags are level-headed. They are nurturing in nature but will protect what's theirs. They have strong family ties. They are shy but strong-willed and passionate. They may come across softer but are just as tough as the others, just less eager to show that side. And your team leads are Tori Between Pages and Rachel from Raven-Haired Reader, a repeat and a new. I'm excited for this team. And their team prompts are a book with a non-human main character. So think fae, vampires, shifter, witch, ghost, etc. And or a book with plants on the cover. Okay, now that you know the teams, which I gotta pat myself on the back for these this year. I'm very, very proud of this year's theme. And like the way that all of the magic is something to do with like brain, sight, talking, or touch. I feel like getting your senses in there almost. Like, I liked that. And all the prompts they all picked are absolutely incredible. You guys are gonna have some hard choices here. How this thing works. There are 4 teams. Once this announcement is done, you are gonna go click the sign up form that is down below. The links to it will also be on the Google Doc and in Discord, and pick what team you want to join. You have to pick one. You can only pick one, and you have to sign up. Please, please, please sign up. This is how I get accurate numbers. And once you have pledged to a realm, you get to read prompts to either increase your team's points or decrease another team's points. Prompts can be doubled up. You can use a maximum of 5 prompts per book plus the bonus prompts. The bonus prompts are bonus, but your prompts must all be negative or must all be positive. Let's say I read The Crown of Oaths and Curses and I want to defend my team. I want to add points to my team. I will go into the positive point category and I will select 5 positive points and any bonus points I want, and I will submit them all. Then could read another book. Let's say I read Flame and Sparrow and I can decide to do negative points and take away points from another team. But all of this book has to be negative points. I can choose 5 different prompts that are all negative plus the bonus prompts to attack another team with. They cannot have 3 negative prompts and 2 positive prompts. Each book can only be one thing, but you can switch per book. And when using negative points, you will be able to choose which realm you want to attack. You just have to select it on the Google form, which does everything for you. You do not have to keep track of a single thing. The spreadsheet that will go live on March 1st for submitting your books does everything for you. You just essentially put your book in, your book number, and you select your prompts, but you don't have to remember anything. You just have to click some buttons on the form. You don't have to keep track of anything except for what you've already submitted. I do not personally have time to go through the spreadsheet and remind people what they've submitted, so you do have to remember what you've already submitted, but that's all you gotta do. I take care of the rest. There are a lot of ways to gain points, so there is the prompt bank, which is your positive and negative points, which I'll get to. The bonus point from me, which is your urban setting, and then you have your 2 bonus prompts from each of your hosts, which are different per team, which each of those will be plus or minus 10. All of those stack. So you could essentially use all 3 bonus prompts on one book. You will also get bonus points for your page count. These will always be positive, they won't be negative. I just knew that I wanted people to be able to read what they wanted to read and not have to worry about it being too long. I wanted you to be able to read a 1,000-page book if you wanted to and not feel like you were taking too much of a punishment, because I know we all feel that way sometimes in readathons, even though it's not true at all. So depending on the length of your book, you will also get points. If you read a book that's less than 200 pages, you get 0. 201 to 400 is 20. 401 to 600 is 40. 601 to 800 is 60. And greater than 801 is 80 points. This will hopefully help even that out. So if you want to read fantasy books that are extra long, you can. But if you also want to read horror books that are short, you also can. Now, there's so much to say in this. I'm so sorry. During the month, there is also always a 48-hour readathon, typically called the Weekend of Peace. This year, because we're in a city setting and it's a bunch of ruling families, we are going to the Gala of Peace. Think a charity gathering. The dates for this will be March 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and end March 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Every book that you read within this weekend gets an extra plus 10 points to your realm. Books must be started and finished during this time to count. I always do recommend that if you do like shorter books, I would load up on some for this 48-hour readathon, because you do just get extra points for every book you read. I think it's a lot of fun. There's typically a lot of sprints during this, and it's a good time. Now, the prompt bank. There are 15 positive points and 15 negative points that you can choose from, and you can stack 5 of these on any book. Let's go through the positive ones first. These will add points to your realm or family. I don't really know. They're technically families in my head, but I gotta throw the word realm in to make realmathon make sense this year, because I did stray a little bit, okay? You can collect signatures, a book rec you've gotten more than once. Recover in the infirmary. The is in the title, but not the first word. For this prompt, the serpent and the wings of night would not count. These the first word. However, slaying the shifter prince would count because the is later. If the is the first word of the title, you can't count it, even if there's multiple those. You can recruit a new pledge, which is a new book to your TBR. This could be newly hauled. This could be a new release. Up to interpretation. My rule always with prompts is if you think it counts, count it. If you don't count it. There is a place in Discord for you to ask if you want some other opinions, but literally, if you ask me, my rule will be if you think it counts, count it. If you don't, then don't. Those 3 prompts are all worth +1. You can broker a deal, which is a poll pick. There is a place in Discord for polls, but you can do polls literally anywhere you want. Bribe for information, a book with more than one POV. Launder money, a book with a wealthy character in it. These are all +2. Restock the armory. Read your favorite trope. You don't have to be exact, you can have multiple favorite tropes. Just saying. Does not have to be your only one favorite. Create a fake ID. Read a book with a morally gray character. Win a street race. Read a fast-paced read. This is obviously up to interpretation of what you think is fast-paced. Those are all +3. Write a policy. A book with an even number of letters in the title. Move up the ranks. A title with a title. I can use this book again as a suggestion. Prince is a title. It's like a name for something. Like prince, princess, queen, heir. But then also like a made-up thing. So like The Dragon Reborn is a title of a thing. It's not like a name, but it's like a title, if that makes sense. Sorcerer's a title. It's what you call something. A title of something. And those are all +4. Strength in numbers. A book has sibling characters in it. Inspiring speech. A higher rated book than your last read book. So whatever you read last, you can go on to Goodreads, Storygraph, Fable, any of these things. You do not have to actually track on any of these sites to look it up. So you can just use Goodreads to look something up or Storygraph to look something up. The book that you are about to read, like about to submit, has to have a higher rating than the book you last read. And attend training. Read a book any host has given 5 stars. It does not have to be your team host. It can be any of the hosts in this readathon. They all have them linked on their social medias, and you can just browse their Goodreads. I also count as a host, so you can browse my Goodreads, which is linked in the description bar below, and any book any of us have given 5 stars counts. Those are all +5. Okay, on to the negative prompts. These will take away prompts from another team, and as you submit them, you will get to pick what team you take away from. Plan a coup, a 5-star prediction. Your book does not have to be 5 stars. It just has to be a book that you think you're really gonna like and could potentially give 5 stars. Don't overthink this. Tap phones, listen to an audiobook. None of these prompts are mandatory, so there is no stretching of this one. You do have to listen to an audiobook for this one. Knock out an opponent, a book you own physically. This one, I do mean that you you own it. You own it in your library. I was kind of putting this for us people that are trying to like knock down our physical TBRs. I would let you stretch this to like an ebook you owned if needed. Those are all -1. Vandalize Another Sector, a special edition. This does have to be the one you are reading. It does have to be the edition you are reading. If a book just has a special edition out there, that doesn't count. You have to own the special edition. Take a Hostage, read a book with a character who has a criminal background. Those are all -2. Bar Fight, a violent word in the title, also up to interpretation. Those are all -2. Stake Out, a 2-word title. Spread Fake Gossip. Title uses the word of. I don't know how this has anything to do with gossip. Normally I try to make them make sense, but I just liked this prompt. So the word of has to be in your title. Corner someone in a dark alley. Your title font is a dark color. Those all use -3. Go undercover. The title is under the author's name. So title under author's name. Easy. Turn the Tables. The title has an alliteration, which is multiple words starting with the same letter. Typically it's 3 words that have to count. Typically. If you think it counts, count it. A B&E, Break and Enter. An author uses an initial. This can be a middle initial. This could be a first initial. Any initial. Those are all -4. Pickpocket, steal from another TBR. Any realmathon TBRs that you see you can steal from. I will have a playlist going on my channel with anyone's videos that I'm tagged in. Plant Evidence, a 5-star reads. This is not a prediction. This is after you read the book. If you gave it 5 stars, you can use it for this prompt. And Decode a Message. The title/author has all 5 vowels in it. Now, you can use the title and you can use the author. You cannot use anything else on the cover. So this says A Court of the Mar novel because it's the series name. You cannot use that. You cannot use book 1 on this. You cannot use USA Today bestselling author. You can use Elise Kova and A Trial of Sorcerers. Title and author. I will be strict on this one. And those are all -5. Okay, now that we've got the prompts out of the way, let's do merch. This is probably the most exciting part of the readathon. There is sweaters available. I actually have 2 different types of sweaters available this time. We have the one I'm wearing right now. Don't know if you can see it. This is my favorite design I've ever created for a readathon yet. It says Greetings from Carrion City, and then there's like the city landscape in the background. I think it's super cute. There are a bunch of colors available for this. There are 2 types of sweaters. The one I'm wearing currently is a boxier fit, and then the other one is a more standard fit. And there's also a t-shirt option as well for this design, and this is all on Bonfire. The link for that will be down in the description below. We have a second design this year, which is embroidery, which is done on Fourth Wall. It just says Carrion City with a little city thing at the top, and then it says realmathon underneath. This one's very simple. It comes in 2 different colors. And then on Fourth Wall as well, there's also the Greetings from Carrion City design on a mug for those who want a mug. Personally think the mug is really cute. I have not ordered myself one yet, but I think I need to. Both of those will be linked down below. Fourth Wall for embroidery, Bonfire for this printed design. And then we also have bookmarks again this year. These will be available on my Etsy store. I also have some of my Patreon bookmarks available right now from years prior. These bookmarks are the best I've done. I'm not kidding that these are absolutely breathtaking. Last year I sold out within the first day. I ordered more this year, but I'm a little scared that that's gonna happen again. So I recommend getting on these quick. These are what they look like. Absolutely breathtaking as a set in my opinion. Okay, first up we have the Monarchs. This was the first one I designed. This was my first little baby. It's so pretty with this butterfly because it's a monarch butterfly and this orange to purple. It's absolutely stunning. It goes into purple and then we have the ravens. This is actually my personal favorite bookmark, I can't lie. I love the coloring. It's a little bit grittier than some of the others to get that underground feel. We have their raven right here, and then this pinkish purple to a blue, which then leads us to the stingers, which was the bookmark I struggled the longest, but I actually think turned out so freaking good. I just prefer the coloring. Like, this is just my favorite coloring of the bookmarks. Like this one, I say the ravens is my favorite, but looking at them all is so hard to tell. We have a little jellyfish, that's why they're called the stingers, and all this like watery plant life, and then we have the blue to the green, which leads us to the stags, which they have a little stag, and like the wilderness, and this like greenish to yellow ombre. These are holographic foil, 18 point for thickness, and they are stunning. And if you didn't get what I was hinting at, the concept of them as a set is that they all kind of go into each other. So we have purple to pinkish purple to blue to blue to green to green to yellow. They look so good. I have been staring at these for months and just like obsessed with them. I hope you are too. These will be 10 Canadian dollars on my Etsy, and a full set will be 32 Canadian dollars. That's all the merch I have. All that's left for me to do is to remind you to sign up using the sign up form for your team. Join join the Discord. It's always really exciting to get access to your team's personal chat and like strategize and stuff like that. And then we're also going to go over the FAQ because I always just like to do a little brief FAQ in here for anyone who has questions. Can I use more than one prompt? Yes, up to 5 prompts per book, not including bonus prompts, but prompts must be either all decreasing or all increasing. Does this book count? Yes, if you think it counts, please count it. If you think it doesn't, then don't. There is a place in Discord called Does This Count, where you can put a book in there if you'd like and ask people if they would count it. And everyone else in the readathon can put their opinion. I will be staying out of it. Do I have to read for my realm's bonus prompts? No. You don't have to read anything you don't want to. If you don't want to read a book that has a main character that has a secret, you don't have to. That's a bonus prompt. You would just have to have one prompt on every single book. One of the 5 prompt banks you have to have. How long is the readathon? It'll run the whole month of March. How do I track my reads? There'll be a tracking form, which will be in the YouTube video description, Discord, Google Doc, as soon as the readathon starts, so on March 1st, and this will be your tracking for the entire readathon. How many times can the bonus prompts be used? As many times as you like. They just can only be used once per book, but all of them can be stacked. Can prompts be reused? Yes, use the prompts as many times as you want. Just again, you can only use a prompt once per book, but you can stack other ones. Can we only attack one realm or can we attack both? You can switch each book, but one book can only attack one realm. How is it fair if one realm has more members than the other? This doesn't matter at all. Points are done per person per team to make it as fair as possible. There is no like perfect way, but this is just for having fun, and this is the most fair way I have found, which is why it's really important for everyone to sign up for their teams using the sign up form down below. Is there a minimum prompt number you have to complete? 1, I guess, but you can do as many as you want, or as little. Do manga or graphic novels count? Yes, any form of reading counts. However, I do ask that when doing page count for graphic novels or manga, you divide them in half just because they are quicker to read. Can a book I started in February but finish in March count? Please use your discretion for this. If you only read 10 pages of the book, please don't count that. But if you only read 10 pages of the book in February and 300 pages in March, you can count that. Just make sure you read a good chunk of it in March. Do DNFs count? You have to have read more than 50% of the book or 200 pages. Will we get standings each week? I don't typically give actual standings, but I do give out a placement every single week in my vlog, and I give all of the hosts little bonus things if they want to include them. So if you're watching all the host vlogs and content, you will get some extra stuff, but no official standing is ever given until the end. At the end of this video, everything will be available in the description for you to go check out. Make sure to sign up, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing month reading with us. There'll be sprints constantly, and it's going to be a really good time. And extra thank you to all my hosts and my mods for agreeing to help me this year, because I could not do this readathon without all of you and all the people participating. Thank you so freaking much.